community, by the way. They started around, let me see, I'm gonna give a little bitch. Okay, so they first broomed out in 1989, but in 1980, you can never, Spirit said let it be. Legs chained to the battlefield, certain things when it's dealing with trauma and pain. But what I fail to understand though is you lost the battle before you started. Let me tell you why. Even if you wanted to prove to people that a person is not worthy of speaking, inspiring, people should not this and they should not that, there were certain things that you should have not done. You see, when you are drawing a war against somebody or you're standing at a battlefield, a pussy is the one that will shoot a gun on someone that has no gun. You get what I'm saying? A pussy is a person that will run up on somebody to shock them. You catch them in shock. A pussy is someone that feels like they could break a person, that they have their hands chained to the walls and their legs chained to the walls. Duh. Of course you was going to break them. Of course they was going to conform. Of course. Even if it was just momentarily, it's bound to happen because it was not a fair fight, okay? You can never throw the rock at somebody and stay anonymous. You can never... Spirit said let it be. Save that to the middle. Save it to the middle. Save it to the middle. So let's see why they said save it to the middle. Let's see why. Save it to the middle. So give us something on this page to clarify what I said about lack of impact, lack of inspiration. This is a community, by the way. They started around, let me see. I'm going to give a little bitch. Okay, so they first broomed out in 1989, but in 1989 there was a lot of fighters. There was a lot of motherfuckers that, I'm talking about real ass men, real ass women, bitch. They put you in your motherfucking place, put you in look hoe, look. Like, nigga, I ain't doing that shit. The fuck out of here. Until they started doing certain things. So, you know, these are not prominent men. I don't call this powerful men. I call these bitches. What do I mean by that? Because it's not the man that sits out in the open with some money. See, you know, sometimes when you have money, you have a dream and you have future, and you stand at spending your whole life in prison about a fight, and everybody's gonna go on about their life, bitch. What you gonna do? You gonna play right on in. Fuck what's up my money about my business. I stay out of their way, they stay out of my motherfucking way. Hands up, neck turn. You get what I'm saying? So the ones involved is the bitches, is the worthless motherfuckers that ain't nobody want to interact with. That's how they've been conjuring up themselves. And how they've been able to put themselves in situations was blending in as possibly a worker, or, you know, trying to fuck on something right quick. You know, a lot of people in this lifetime, they like having a good time, and sometimes when a good time is involved, you don't really see shit for what it is, man. That's why before I went through my awakening, God snatched YouTube. I know that it's gonna be vulgar, but I gotta do what I gotta do. It's not every day, so just brace your seats. Okay? That's why God snatched dick up out my life. He snatched marijuana up my life. Matter of fact, he snatched dick, marijuana, and drinking out of my life. I ain't gonna lie. For a whole year and some months when it first started. And then when I, you know, ended up homeless, like, whoa, I done promised my kids I'm coming back. It's been 1 month, 2 months, 5 months, 7 months. What the fuck is going on? I need me a bottle. And that's when, you know, I started incorporating drinking. That's what I actually got when y'all heard that door knock. You know, we real around here. The world don't like real. The world likes conform. Whew, Lord. Okay. So I just want to be the one to tell you that there are good people in the world. So that's the reason why I made a conscious decision to no longer rant to no longer speak with the authority of a no-nonsense person that has been shackled invisibly to something, because it will not come off the way it's needed to come off. And a person does not need to be afraid of not having, of having a backbone, or, whatever the case may be. So, we just retracted it all. From here on out, when I feel led to speak, I'm gonna try my best to speak in a way where I don't have to go with my brain like, damn, bitch. Every time I get on the camera, I don't remember what I'm saying because it's a message passed on from above. But I know damn well I said a whole lot of bitch. Let me go ahead and take it down. And then I also go within and I'm like, damn, it's not everybody that is homeless that was actually an innocent person. Because you got wicked people too. Yeah. For example, y'all watched me homeless how long? The people that partnered up against me is not partnering up because they see a happily ever after with me, bitch. No. They partnered up so I could join and then fall. So then what the fuck is the point of joining or connecting or being around anybody if I'm gonna fall anyway? Yeah. So you have some people like that where they subscribe to something after their struggle, during their struggle, just to go ahead and still be miserable at the end of the motherfucking day. Okay? Let's go ahead and get into this reading. These are people that is trying to prove a point to impactful people. You see, the thing is, impactful people's eyebrows don't... You ever seen the woman on the internet and her eyebrow look like this, bitch? Is that arched? Yeah, their eyebrows is that arched. You got a lot of impactful people. Their eyebrows is that arched right now. So they feel like having me observed and surveillance, they're proving a point that, no, I've told you, like, we're not doing anything suspicious. It's the same old, blah, 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 blah. And that's not true. I'm going to say it and I'm going to say it over again. It was your husbands. It was your wives. It was your besties, your business partners that these people were coming for. This is a worthless community. So going back to the bitches, 1989, they tried. It was actually before 1989, by the way. You know what? Let me just do what they call it. The bracket. So we're going to do 1975 to 1989. Motherfuckers was, bitch, I'm standing for something. I ain't doing that shit. Hell the fuck nah. And then all of a sudden, around 1995, some subtle shit was happening. It was happening. That's when it began. So it was happening subtly. Motherfuckers like, hold up, wait. What you mean? Bitch, let me back up. Let me turn a blind eye. And like I said, these were not prominent men. These are the people that walk around us. They try to make it seem like somebody sent them, but somebody didn't send them. Now, on the flip side, you do have some people that, got some things going on in their life that you may have a dickhead or two that, may not have gotten what they wanted and thought they could just throw some shit out in the air. So, it wouldn't hurt. It's not like I'm telling them what to do, but they sick in the mind, so they just gonna do it because they love doing that shit anyway. So you have a fraction of those that they use it, for their tools. And then you have some that just mind their business because they wise enough to know not to partner up with this community. And that's a larger fraction. It's a larger fraction where they do not, and these are people with money and they sit in places. They're wise enough to not partner up with this community, because if you can go ahead and do all this shit to get proof on somebody, so you can hold them by the jingle bells and clip them by the impulse, bitch, you ain't gonna be me. You got some sort of emperor though that, you know, he might have got caught up because they done did some voodoo on this nigga. Oh yeah. This emperor, he was real important. Fucked around and forgot about him and his. So I heard, what best way to take a nigga down than to use his own seed? Now, I don't think, you know, I'm real, okay? I'm real. This is not about my wishes and my dreams, right? I don't think that this man needs to be taken down. I believe that this community is supposed to be taken down. Because black magic and voodoo is real, bitch. I'm telling you. It would have you do some things that you would have never thought. Let me tell you something. I'm going to give y'all a fun fact today. See, these are part of the reasons why I be taking videos down, because of what I'm about to say next. All my life, I ain't never did some shit. But it took one person to come in with some voodoo, bitch. And I attempted it once or twice. You get? Can you do that same voodoo on me again? No. But it's possible that it can happen. Okay, so you have someone that really feels like they can tear down a particular figure, masculine energy. You take that how it resonates for you. Give me something on this page. Somebody doesn't want people to believe in. They want people to be discouraged. They want people to be unmotivated. Somebody also thought that they could throw the rock and hide their hand and it will have people unmotivated with this relationship. Like, oh, I don't want to be around somebody that just sleep in the dark, no brush their teeth. You already know motherfuckers is grimy. Motherfuckers will let a nigga in right in and come rob you and act like they wasn't involved. I'm checking in with y'all. I'm still cool as Olivia. I just don't feel like there's nothing to be cool about no more. I feel like there's no need to be dubious no more. I feel like there's no need to talk too much no more. Because I did all this talking for months, weeks, and years, and yet people still want to try me. Motherfuckers still watch me. And then a few people that's trying to take down the community feels like I'm strong enough to keep going through the batter and the bruise until they get their hands on who they need to get their hands on. That's some bullshit, man. It's some bullshit. I wasn't involved in this. I don't know what you niggas got going on. This shit don't got nothing to do with me. Hold the fuck up. God didn't build me to have strength for y'all niggas to like, what? It make me feel some type of way. So now I want to throw people off. Since you are focused on scientifically, theoretically, hypothetically, what is supposed to be for mankind, now I'm going to have y'all bitches wondering, is she not? Is she not? Because when one door closes, another door opens. And sometimes the door is not a door to prosperity. Sometimes the door is the heart. Sometimes the door is thought process. Yeah, sometimes the door is the heart and the door is thought process. So while your heart closes, like, well, I can't, hell nah, that bitch, she in the dark, she ain't washing her ass, she ain't doing this, she ain't doing that. She ain't even trying, bitch. What is it to try? Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, you might as well not try. Because it's not even going to pick up off the ground if you try, okay? So now, when your heart closes, there's going to be somebody else at heart open, like, hold up, I was in a worst case scenario than you. I know exactly what that, I know exactly what's going on. Because niggas thought I was down and motherfucking shit. I was bouncing back while I was down. So look, I don't got to prove nothing to nobody. God is real, man. I believe in God so strong. I believe that God will do the right thing. You see, heaven help those who help themselves. A lot of people think society norms when you hear that. Sometimes helping yourself is standing down. I believe that God will do the right thing. You see, heaven help those who help themselves. A lot of people think society norms when you hear that. Sometimes helping yourself is standing down. Sometimes helping yourself is actually being the clown in the presence of people, going through the humiliation, going through the stagnancy, going through the delay, going through the lack of understanding despite the fact that you have clarity. God help those who help themselves sometimes mean that, yes, you are a physical being, and yes, this is what is required procedural wise, or we'll do the right thing. You see, heaven help those who help themselves. A lot of people think society norms when you hear that. Sometimes helping yourself is standing down. Sometimes helping yourself is actually being the clown in the presence of people, going through the humiliation, going through the stagnancy, going through the delay, going through the lack of understanding despite the fact that you have clarity. God help those who help themselves sometimes mean that, yes, you are a physical being, and yes, this is what is required procedural wise or lifestyle wise. But sometimes you got to go through that understanding that there's nothing that you can do at this time. You got to let procedural wise or lifestyle wise. But sometimes you got to go through that understanding that there's nothing that you can do at this time. You procedural wise or lifestyle wise. But sometimes you got to go through that understanding that there's nothing that you can do at this time. You got to let the pieces fall where it's going to fall. A lot of people's not willing to take that risk because most of the risk takers has been painted to look like when you do take that risk, you get destruction. And that's the reason why you got this person hoping for someone not to have no form of relationship, no form of human interaction, no connection whatsoever. It's easier when a person gives in. It's easier when a person chooses desperation. It's easier when a person chooses for their mental to break. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know. Risk, you get destruction. And that's the reason why you got this person hoping for someone not to have no form of relationship, no form of human interaction, no connection whatsoever. It's easier when a person gives in. It's easier when a person chooses desperation. It's easier when a person chooses for their mental to break. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know. Like, you know, back then, God allowed me to still feel emotions in the beginning of the roller coaster, bitch. You know, I'm seeing